to you. This is Craig Simmons, Minister of Music at First Congregational, and we're back again with another edition of Music on Mondays. Today's hymn happens to be probably one of my favorites, and it was certainly a favorite of my mother's, and I'm actually recording this on Sunday afternoon on Mother's Day. So this is a tribute to my mother. And this is a history of How Great Thou Art. And it begins with Carl Gustav Boberg. He lived from 1859 to 1940 and was a Swedish pastor, editor, and member of the Swedish Parliament. Mr. Boberg was enjoying a nice walk when a thunderstorm suddenly appeared out of nowhere. A severe wind began to blow, and after the storm was over, Mr. Boberg looked out over the clear bay. He then heard a church bell in the distance, and the words to How Great Thou Art began to form in his heart. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hands hath made. Can you imagine what Boberg felt as he formed those words? There was such a calmness after the fierce storm, he could only utter those words of peace. And I will interject here that various stories have surfaced around the background of How Great Thou Art. And in reading through a few of these, I realized that some of the background and the history and some of the details around how he came about writing these words varies greatly, actually. So this is just one version of that story. The poem he wrote was entitled O Stor Gut, O Great God, and it was published in 1891 in Witness of the Truth, the weekly newspaper that Boberg edited. This was later translated into German, and in 1927 it was published in a Russian version of the German text. How Great Thou Art, translated by Stuart Hine, the English missionary to Ukraine, found some version of the Russian text and sang it at an evangelistic meeting with his wife. He then translated the first three stanzas into English, which was sung at an evangelistic meeting in England during World War I. He published the first three verses in both Russian and English in 1949 in Grace and Peace, a Russian evangelic paper which Hine edited. He later wrote the fourth verse as a triumphant message of life eternal. Of the hymn's importance, Hine said, "When we reach that heavenly home, we will fully understand the greatness of God and will bow in humble adoration, saying to him, O Lord my God, how great thou art." May we all live in such a way that we will be ready when Jesus Christ appears to receive the saints. Our heavenly home awaits us, all of those who have received Christ in obedience. Dr. J. Edwin Orr of Fuller Theological Seminary is said to have brought the hymn to America. After hearing it sung in India, he introduced it to various Christian groups in America. In 1954, Dr. Cyrus Nelson of Gospel Light Productions copyrighted and published the song. How Great Thou Art was also sung by George Beverly Shea at the London Crusade of the Billy Graham Evangelistic Team in 1954. He later sang this song over 100 times during a revival in New York at a Billy Graham crusade. This caused the hymn to receive new attention in Sweden and in America and be published in several hymnals. And today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you a video of a hymn arrangement of this famous hymn. This is from Calvary Church in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I hope you enjoy this video.